Hey, ABC,
Yo,
we are live, so I'm going to very quickly just say we'll be back in a minute.
sounds great.
Hello, internet friends. And
Woo!
I have not seen those ridiculous glasses yet. It is OOTP After Talk, and as my buddy Franchise Time Machine likes to say, oh, come on. Come on. I did you the solid of not wearing a Giants cap.
I just have my green stuff, man. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't have any Giants green stuff. I don't know why.
My guest, obviously, is the irrepressible EVC and NYC 2. Don't ask about EVC and NYC 1.
Nope. Or 0.
Or 0. Yeah, really don't ask about 0. Welcome to OOTP After Talk. If you're new here, most Tuesdays after TJ, when I don't have a board meeting, I have a little talk show with one of our affiliates to just, I want to give the new kid a little shout out. So there's this plucky little streamer named EVC that I knew him. I liked him before he was cool. Like, you probably haven't heard of him. No. But you and me both, TJ. You and me both. First, EVC, I got to do this with Lap, but I haven't gotten it to do with you. Thank you for everything you do for the OOTP community and for the streamers and the affiliates. For those people who don't know, EVC is the one who puts together almost all of those graphics you see for who's streaming in PTCSs, whose theme teams are doing things, that sort of thing. All of our affiliates are incredible and wonderful, but Laptop and EVC are really, if Laptop is the den mother, like EVC is the administrative secretary or something. He keeps everything running. It's amazing. And he also somehow finds the time to essentially commish an entire league of theme teams, which is amazing. So EVC, thank you so much for being part of OOTP After Talk.
Well, thank you for letting me on the show. Always enjoy your streams when I'm up enough to see them as an East Coaster. The stories, the fun, and your Dodger hate just kind of fuels me throughout the week. So I always appreciate you, man. And if you guys don't, if this is his first time coming from OOTP over to Ezra, follow this man, Follow his streams. He's on almost every single night, except I think Saturday night around 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, giving you some great stories about giant sims and everything like that. So always appreciate you, my man. Always fun. Always a fun time on this channel. The time I saw Laptop giving you hugs virtually.
That was yeah. You know, it is a beautiful thing. There's just so much love in the streamer community. It was not at all awkward.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all awkward. No.
And speaking of, in our chat right there is our newest affiliate streamer, Comey Soon, a Comey of Errors, which I'm assuming is a broad political takedown of James Comey.
I think it was Comey of Errors, and the D fell off when he wrote it, and he just ran with it.
Right. He forgot he cut the D block, and all of a sudden he's a Comey of Errors. But I hope, Comey of Errors, this is your invitation. Come on after talk. Let's introduce you to the community writ large. So, EVC, how you do so many different things.
2 outs now. U.S. is down to 1 out in the WBC.
Let's go Venezuela. I have my Cuba jersey here somewhere.
You have your what was it called? Veluza?
No, I don't think the Vuvuzela is Venezuelan, EVC.
Still, I think you should have one. I think you should be playing it.
I did not like that when it was happening. I don't really care. They were not. They were there, but what leads you to come up with something like theme teams?
Honestly, someone else came up with theme teams, and I just ran with it. When this happened five years ago, I've been doing theme teams now for 5 years that I've been running it. And I just, like you said, I wanted it more organized. So I just kind of like, it was a spreadsheet, and people try to get connected and things like that. And I just ran with it, and we had, and it just took off, and it's been great. And again, if you don't know what a theme team is, we play with a subset of the overall cards. So I run a Dodgers theme team every year, and all my cards would be players that played for the Dodgers. Last year, Ezra won the broadest theme team ever, and was anyone who'd never played for the Dodgers.
If you go by the OOTP, if you went by the OOTP card catalog last year, players that were on the Dodgers outnumbered players that were not on the Dodgers in the card library by a chunk. We need fewer Dodgers.
Fewer Dodgers? Why? Why, Ezra? Why?
But theme teams are an awesome way for somebody like me that isn't going to spend, other than buying the game, isn't really going to spend money on the game. It's a great way for me to have a way to play Perfect Team and feel competitive without, playing at the highest echelon. Because I'm just, it's kind of like, I'm never going to be in the NBA, but theme teams give me a really nice rec league where I can, under 6 foot, where I can play center.
And now that Venezuela has won on a Roman Anthony strikeout, congratulations, Venezuela. We owe you. I think it's a good time to figure out what to do. I actually am doing a theme team this year, which is a WBC theme team. Anyone who ever played on a WBC squad is eligible. And so that's excited.
A good one. Yeah.
Actually, this week that we've got WBC cards for the very first time coming out this week. And the wonderful people at OOTP, we've been running a theme teams for a number of years. One of the things we do is try to get together in leagues. So if you get with us in a theme team, and you want to do your favorite franchise, WBC players from the Dominican Republic, players that are just named Bob, right? You can do whatever theme you kind of want to do. We get together in league play each week. Starting next week, we'll get our leagues together. And it's a great way to kind of have fun and competition everywhere from iron all the way up to probably about high gold. Once you get to low diamond, it's kind of, the theme teams don't work, but this process allows us to get our players together. And the wonderful folks at OTP gave me an admin tool a couple of years ago. So I run it, make sure that everyone's got a valid team. It's kind of on the honor system, but you got a valid team. We'll be looking at your box scores and making sure you got everything meeting your specific constraint. But then we get leagues together, and we have sometimes more than 30 people at a certain level. So we have spillover additional low bronze or high bronze or low silver leagues that are available. And then we have our league championships. And so I've got a whole list of all the champions, everyone who made championships last year. We celebrate each week the winners from that. And it's just like another way of playing. Like, not everyone can get the perfect league. So have fun with it. Have fun with your favorite players from your youth, your favorite era of baseball, your favorite franchise. And it's a great way of just kind of having fun with it.
Yeah, and it's also a fun way to kind of interface with the card collection in a different way. It lets you look at the panoply of cards that OOTP puts out through a different prism, which is really fun. It's not as simple as best player, thud. It's, I need people that are redheads or something like that. And so,
right. And it's a great way about learning about baseball history. Like I did last year, I did a theme, which was all players who played ever in Cuba. And I learned, and I shared on stream last year, stories about baseball in Cuba and all the background, and basically how Cuba was the birthplace of baseball, and the spread during the Spanish and Cuban War of baseball to the Dominican, to Mexico, to all the different Venezuela, all the different countries in Central America came from Cuba.
Wasn't it the Reds who were trapped in Cuba during the revolution?
No, there was a minor league team that played like the week beforehand. Like I think Ted Williams on that, or Yastrzemski?
Yeah, Ted Williams. That's the one.
Yastrzemski was on that team as a minor leaguer. And yeah, there were like bullets going up, and they were scared to go to the stadium and things like that. So just a lot of fun stories. And just by playing and learning about baseball history, it's a great way to explore baseball history by doing a theme team about something you're going to be passionate about, you want to learn more about. Doing the research is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Havana Sugar Kings, exactly.
And it's also a great way to sort of connect with other players. And, EVC's got a Discord all about theme teams. And it's a really fun way to learn about other people's themes and that sort of thing.
It is really fun. I have to say, like, the community is so creative. They come up with so many great types of themes. We've had short kings, people under 5'10", and pitchers under 6 feet, right? We've had all sorts of combinations. People not born in the U.S. is one. You can do a pretty broad panoply of things. There's someone who does something every year where the lineup has to spell a sandwich.
Right.
So
I really liked the one that was anybody who'd been ejected for fighting.
Yes, VR Mind's doing that one. The ungentlemanly fighting fellows. Yeah. Anyone who ever got ejected for fighting. Yeah. So it's just a lot of fun. Franchise Time Machine does one where basically every player I mispronounce on stream is eligible. So, it's just a way to kind of poke fun at that, learn about baseball, and razz each other a little bit and create some community around it, which is just always fun. My favorite new theme that we saw for the first time last year was Green Robin did this one where it was called the Hillside Decadence. And basically for every decade. So think about this. You've got the pitcher's a 1, right? The catcher's a 2. The first baseman's 3, right? When you're doing your fielding. Then all the first basemen had to be from the 1930s. All the second basemen had to be from the 1940s. The pitchers could be from 1900s or 1900 or 2000s, right? And so each decade was represented by the 9 positions on the field. Freaking brilliant.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So just, again, it's just always a fun way of playing. And like I said, the creativity of the community is spectacular. So I do a little pre-TWIP show on Thursdays, and I try to highlight all the new theme teams that are joining as of that week. So I do little highlights and show off the different themes that are coming through. And it's just a fun way of playing. It really is.
Lisa loves biology. Do you have a cat box? And oh, wait, let me just, there we go.
Oh,
do you have, yeah, that's, if you've got that too, then you know that's getting eerie. So you
Hey, Dr.
you know,
how you doing?
you've got the theme team stuff. You've got but then you also have, you just kind of alluded to a little bit of it. You've also got Guess the Set, which is a genius thing. So for those of you who are new, every week on Thursday, new cards come out from OOTP, and on Wednesday, EVC is wildly working on a Google form to have you try and guess the cards that are going to be in that set. And then I can't imagine, how long does it take you to score Guess the Set?
So, I mean, if you watch my Saturday stream last week, I took an hour and a half live spreadsheet streaming, which I think I created an emote finally for that. I think I have a spreadsheet emote. Is this working?
Nice.
I think it's. I see. So now you can use that while I'm streaming. But basically, nice. I created I spent an hour and a half because it was a tough one. The first one of the year where you're guessing the launch deck, you're going through the entire launch deck and trying to match up everything. So
new sets. I have a question about that.
Yes.
For those of us who were in the beta, how do you I disqualified myself.
That is I can see most of the people that are in the beta. The beta. So you get the testing closed at the beta before the beta launched. So this is the beta launch that was closed. And if you were a tester, I kind of know who you are, so I can. You were ineligible to do that because you saw some of the cards. But again, the launch set's completely different set of cards than what we saw during beta testing.
Well, and that's the other thing, Floyd Lloyd Boyd, is that somehow he also, retirement is supposed to be a slowdown time, EVC, between all the stuff you do for OTP, all the travel, all the goat yoga. I mean, it's just, how do you do it?
There's the go-go years, the slow-go years, and no-go years. So I'm trying to take advantage of the go-go years while I can before it goes to slow-go and no-go.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Yeah.
So a little less travel this year, I think.
Yeah. The challenge is, I think we're already in the slow-go years. And Rachel's in the doesn't want to go year. So if we're going to travel, I start mentioning restaurants wherever we're going. Months before we leave, and I start a Google sheet of just restaurants, and all of a sudden she's like, I could go to Brussels. Yeah.
You list all the Taco Bells. That's how it works.
Yeah, right? All the Taco Bells. That's the only sites we visit, is if they're across the street from a Taco Bell. I should pull up that video. I should put that on.
Yes. Goat yoga is a thing. We did it in upstate New York. You basically do yoga, and there's a bunch of goats running around and jumping on your back. It is different. We're not signing up to do it again this year. So
make of that what you will. Goat yoga, one-time thing. I hope they were wearing those weird diapers that they put on.
No, they were not.
Say, that adds on.
There's a lot of little goat poops everywhere.
It's
a different thing.
Yeah.
It's a different thing.
You really want to lay down on that floor.
It is dangerous. You got scratchy hooves, man.
Yeah, I imagine that was the other thing I was thinking. That would be something. So guess the set. You've got all of that.
We got guess the set starting tomorrow. So 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. I'll be on streaming. We'll be showing off our winners again from last week's Guess the Launch Deck. We've got our Guess the Set WBC set coming. We've also got get your entries in early because there will be cards in the clubhouse tomorrow at all levels: iron, bronze, silver.
Put the link in the chat, EVC. Put the link to Guess the Set in the chat.
I haven't published it yet because I'm still refining it. So you have to join me tomorrow.
My original plan was for us to do it on stream, but
I don't want to give it away yet.
We'll skip that. Plus, I think the best I ever did in Guess the Set was I got 2 right once or something. I won it once.
You won once. You did win once. So don't discount. That's the thing. Trod played for his first time, and you think he got in the money.
Yeah, even a broke clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. So let that broke clock be tomorrow.
But Guess the Set is really fun, and again, it's a neat way. EVC's Wednesday stream is fantastic because he goes down weird historical rabbit holes to try and figure out, based on Sporer's cryptic hints, you're going to get some great stories during his Wednesday stream. So, I mean, it goes without saying, everyone watching this should be following EVC, but just in case, make sure I don't say EVC and NYC1.
No, that guy.
Just in case, you should be following EVC. Streams during the day. My darn, real life keeps me from doing a lot of stuff during the day. I can lurk sometimes, but bunk holes. That's right. It's all bunk with EVC.
And that was something that someone came up with. The bunk thing. I'm known for my bunk, but that was because someone went through multiple times filling out the form before I even did my presentation and winning and saying everything that EVC says is just taking you the wrong way. They're all like red herrings and things. So I am just full of bunk.
That's the way. That's the way. So how do you play the base game at all?
I'm in a league, an online league. So
right.
I am playing the base game there.
And you have a couple players in some of the online leagues too.
I'm in the EMLB. I've got 2 players in the EMLB. I got a player in the PBE. I've got a player in the Backyard Project. I got a player in the Red Rock League. I love getting players in leagues. It's
when
a lot
do you
of fun.
Sleep?
I don't sleep very much.
I mean, because most of those leagues, like, players, having a good player is work. You're putting in time to the league, kind of.
It is, but it's it's fun. And I play Create a Roster and Franchise Time Machines once a year, and I usually get into the top 2.
Yeah, right after I do.
God. Exactly. Have you gotten yet this year?
No, I haven't yet. I have it in 27.
So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until you go.
I pretty much disappeared for all of March because of work stuff.
Life is important. You got to do life.
But it was hilarious because last Thursday was my biggest work event of the year, where I was working 16-hour days every day. And then I had joked, they're going to release it like that day or that Friday, right. And sure enough, it was right then. So how have you found 27 so far?
I mean, it's like, every new cycle, you've got to relearn all the cards. You got to figure out what the right tournament cards are. That's always the learning cycle. So I'm feeling like completely overwhelmed. I also went with too many theme teams to start with. So I just, trying to keep
a theme for you.
Yes, it is a theme for me. How many teams will EVC do a cycle?
I've definitely noticed, I was shorthanded by the end of 26. I was shorthanding drafts. I was finishing like my 5 and 6L draft in 5 or 10 minutes. Now I'm have to look at every card and that sort of thing. Speaking of which, that's another thing EVC does. He's got his own tournament, the Bagels and Schmear.
Bagels and Schmear.
Are you doing a meta tourney again this year with that?
We'll do 2 meta tourneys again this year. So if you get into Bagels and Schmear, there'll be monthly contests we do every single month where you can win packs. The top 3 teams will win packs if they have the most points each month. And then the most points from March through, I think, August, we'll do a September Bagels and Schmear big pop-up. And the top winner of that, when you win that, I'm going to send you a dozen bagels and Schmear from H&H Bagels here in New York City out of my own pocket. It's a fun thing. Our winner last year, Blar, enjoyed his Bagels and Schmear. He got the cinnamon raisin and sesame seeds, 6 of each, with some scallions cream cheese. And he said it was very good. So we'll send that out again. And that's my plan. We'll do another one again for this winter months and with a big pop-up tourney in February. That's the plan.
I'm an onion bagel guy.
Onion.
I like onion bagels. Or garlic. I like onion or garlic. Sweet bagels are weird to me. I don't really.
I agree with that completely. And I also think that, if you're doing onion or garlic, you might just go everything. Is there something on the you don't like?
Sometimes everything is just a lot of seeds.
True.
I kind of, the thing I like about onion and garlic is the onion and garlic in it kind of gets toasty when you toast it. I like that a lot.
Yes.
The seeds I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done for our 9 innings is bagels.
You're right. We still can. We still can.
It's true. We could. I don't know. I don't really have 9 bagels in my back pocket. I don't think
there is. We might have to cheat. Yeah, getting 18 different types of bagels. Although I did see some on my China trip. I should go back.
Yeah, that was something. Well, also, New York is kind of they're sort of ascetic about their bagels, and so like out here we have like a bunch of different kinds, but you guys kind of hone in on like there are 5 or 6 sort of bagels that everyone should have.
Yeah, I'm not in the jalapeno cheddar like Hillside Robin was mentioning, right? Like that is not a typical New York thing. Although you can get it as part of the Bagels and Schmear Championship from H&H Bagels, so that is one of the offerings. So maybe I should.
But EBC will look askance at you.
You win. I don't care. You won.
So another thing. Another reason to love EVC is that he carries his Dodger fandom as ardently as I carry my Giants fandom.
Yeah, I know you guys all hate. I hate the Dodgers. I understand.
What's the old Wilt Chamberlain line? Nobody ever cheers for Goliath.
Why not? It's fun.
But one of the frustrating. We've got EBC in NYC1 is in the chat.
I know it's always so confusing for me.
What did I just say? I like how you're both orange somehow.
Who is that? Yeah, I know that's kind of confusing, isn't it?
The easy way to tell is EBC and NYC2 subscribes to the channel. That was my Dr. Dynastic shill for the week. So but you come by your Dodger fandom naturally, right? You were an Angelino.
Yeah, I grew up in LA. My parents would go to a Laker game, and my grandparents lived by the Fabulous Forum. And they dropped me off, and my grandmother was a huge Dodgers fan. And so we'd watch the Dodgers game. Vinny was on TV for the first 3 innings. Jerry Doggett came on in the middle 3. My grandmother turned the sound off on the TV, turned on the radio, listened to Vin Scully in the middle innings. He'd retell some of the same stories. It didn't make any difference. And then, went to the 7th, 8th, and 9th, back to TV. Vinny went. And that's when you got the TV sound back on, the radio turned off. So that was, it's kind of interesting, right? You think about that, like a broadcaster disappearing for a middle 3 innings and coming on TV and radio. Like that was just a weird thing that they did in LA.
Come back to a whole different game.
I don't know if that's different for anyone. Did anyone else do that? Was there anybody other broadcaster where they went that like TV to radio to TV?
Yeah, the Giants actually do that now.
Really?
Where they'll start, like the TV and radio people will sort of interchange. So John Miller will sometimes do a little bit of TV, but he mainly does radio now. But then Kruk and Kite will go back and forth like that. So they do that now where, you'll be on. So they have a thing where like every couple innings, they will make sure who's called. They'll be like, and here to tell you all about it is Dwayne Kuiper.
I wondered. I wondered if it was just a standard at the time. So it sounds like, based on what people are saying in chat, that Philly did it and Braves were doing it. And
I think it also is a way. I think for the Giants now, even though they've done it forever, it's a way to sort of lessen John Miller's load.
Yeah,
because he can just sort of sit there and say everything at once. Yeah, Ralph Kiner. Yeah. Ralph Kiner was a special case.
Chick Hearn mentioned in the chat there, close the fridge door, the butter's getting cold hard, or whatever.
He was pretty amazing, Chick Hearn. Chain smoking the whole way.
That's voice of the Lakers for those who don't know.
Yeah. Chick Hearn was he was like broadcasting basketball. You have to talk fast, but Chick Hearn was able to he talked really fast.
Yeah.
No, and great. John Miller is fantastic. He really is one of the best. And it's funny because he's sort of become this emeritus presence in the Giants where he doesn't really do play-by-play that much anymore. He just sort of sits around and he mainly works with this guy Dave Fleming, who's wonderful, and his job is to sort of make fun of Fleming. Like that's most of what he does. It's very funny.
That's what he enjoys doing. I mean, they pay him to do what he enjoys doing. I mean, what
I'm
better
sure
in
at
life?
this point they're just like, whatever you want to do, John, that's fine.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how did you get involved with OOTP?
It was pandemic time, so if you roll over,
so you hadn't played the game before the pandemic?
No, I didn't know. I was like, I just need a good baseball sim game. There's no baseball. I want to pretend I'm watching the Dodgers every single day. Let me go through, and I found the game, and I started doing that. And I didn't find Perfect Team until like July, I think. So it was just kind of doing the base game. And I just sim a game every day during the pandemic just to give me some sanity, right? So Dukes said the same thing, right, for him. So it was great. And finding the community and finding all the early streamers and Rich on his guitar and, all that kind of stuff, the early days.
I miss his pack ripping streams.
Yes. Always entertaining. Great guy. Always been a great part of the community and done so much to give us all these great stars that we get in the cards now. I mean, it's, when we played, we had cards, but there were no players' faces on any of the cards when we were playing back then, right? And now we've gotten so many player cards and photos and rights to players. It's really spectacular. So, but yeah, that was like a savior for me.
And so how quickly did you transition to streaming?
It was probably a year. I think I went through and I was doing some streaming and that's when Your Kidneys was streaming and Your Kidneys said, just do it. I'm like, should I? I said, okay. And I started messing around in, I think, April that next year and then just kind of ran. And at that point I had, like, for me, I was like trying to find what I'm going to stream that's different that makes it interesting. Like, I don't just want to be someone just streaming the game all the time. What can I do? And that's when the theme teams really became kind of a fun little community within the community and kind of sharing that love of that and then trying to find ways of making things interesting. So, I can do giveaways, but I just hate put enter and that's the giveaway. So I wanted to make people work for it a little bit. And that was where Guess the Set came from. And then when I do Rip a Pack-a-Palooza on Saturdays, starting probably in 2 weeks, ripping across the theme teams, just having people have some skin in the game so they can how many perfects is EVC going to get and have a chance to win some packs makes it kind of fun. So
see, this is the evil monetization brain of your former job coming into play.
There's a little bit of that. It was just like, but it's more it's more like how, if you're going to stream, what do you bring to the table that's interesting and different? And if I didn't have that, I don't know that I would have streamed.
Yeah, and Strum. Strum. Oh, fantastic. I think Twitch, that's free. You can have that. You should trademark that. Wow. But I done Strum. I think that's a great point, though. And for folks that are thinking about streaming OOTP or anything, think about sort of what niche you want to find, what excites you about the game, and what do you kind of bring. And the really fun part, I think, of the affiliates is we all kind of come at OOTP from different angles, and we really illustrate the manifold ways you can play the game.
The game is it can be super complex. So we love to help people in any way we can to get into the game, because we know once you get in, it's just so rewarding in a lot of different ways. And you can play it in so many different ways. You can do old sims, you can do perfect team, you can do theme teams, you can, it just, there's so many different layers of playing it and the leagues and things like that. And so when I create that affiliate list that I share, I have a sheet with all different affiliates on it, and I color code it by the different type of stream. So if you like just doing streams, watching people doing historical saves, then here are the guys who do historical saves, and here's the guys and gals that do, perfect team, etc. It's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard.
That putting that thing together is a labor of love in general. Did we upload a new one? I should download it.
It's in the affiliates Discord.
Is it in the general?
Should be.
I never know. Here it is. Let me I'll share this with people as soon as I download it. And look, I say it a lot, but I'll just keep saying it, especially if you are not the 807th old white guy to stream OOTP.
Yeah.
Ask us for help. I want to see the OOTP affiliate team look more like America. And
we've got and again, we have, like, I share my setup on OBS with people so they can get a feel how I do it. I have a second monitor. I have my laptop. I'm using a laptop to stream. I don't have a lot of equipment. I'm just using my MacBook. And I've got a separate screen with tabs, and I've got my main with the game, and that's kind of it. I can switch back and forth between that. And like, if you've been thinking about it, you're not going to make money, okay?
Yeah. Disavow yourself of that notion.
You're not going to be a superstar. You're not going to be Mr. Beast, thank God. And you're not, you're going to be, you may be able to
start playing Yahtzee with people. You're not going to make money.
No. And so, but again, if it's a passion of yours and you love, do it.
And if you have a voice, find what your voice is and kind of go from there. But, ask the other streamers, because they'll be happy to help. We want more great people doing this. And especially my personal passion, I want more women and people of color doing this. That is something that, frankly, we do not do a good job of.
And we know the baseball community is broad and diverse. So
100%.
We want more voices in, and it's great.
You'd think I would be able to have found this damn image sooner than
you want me to say
downloaded somewhere on my look. Here's the bottom line. What I always say is, if I can do this, you can do this, and I'm proving that constantly.
I have the doc. I can put it in the chat if I have the ability to put access in.
Yeah, you do. You can just. But I was trying to. I downloaded the image somewhere, but who knows where. OneDrive. I'll just steal this then. That's better.
Isn't that easier?
Yeah. Do you want people to have access to your Google?
It is a
Google Sheet. You've got color. You've got a subtle version and a not subtle version.
Well, I've got it's PT27 and the.
Oh, I see. It's 27 and
26. I made a little different for PT27.
I love it. So all of a sudden there's a bunch of different people in there. That's funny.
Amazing how it works.
So EVC, we are, first of all, I want to thank EVC for staying up past his bedtime, and on St. Patrick's Day, where about 1:00 today, EVC sends me a Discord message of just him and the largest glass of Guinness I've ever seen.
My better 3/4 is Irish, so we like to celebrate.
And it's a big thing in New York, right?
It is a big thing. I can't tell you how many other people in green garb were drinking beer at the pub with me at 1:00 on a Tuesday afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, I missed that, but so I do want to be very mindful of your time, and so I want to do two fun things. One, I want to help out, look, if I'm going to make fun, I also got to help. So I want to help out my buddy, Dr. Dynastic, who has a competition that you can get involved in. Let me get the link here. Here we go. The spelling of this drives me crazy.
Challenge. So if everyone's been watching Dr. Dynastic over the last couple of months, he's been doing the franchise frenzy, where different streamers like myself, Ezra, on the list that you've seen, different streamers who have drops. We've been coming through, and even people in the community coming through and telling the best franchises in that franchise's history, the best years, and had them play off and come up with, the best Dodger squad, the best Giant squad. And now we're going to have our top 32 teams go head-to-head in this franchise frenzy playoff starting on Friday. So we want everyone to get a chance to pick who they think is going to go all the way to the finals in OOTP. Dr. Dynastic will be doing that starting on Friday. So you have until midnight on Thursday to get into that challenge, the OOTP franchise frenzy list, and pick your squads that you think are going to go all the way. And the winner apparently is going to get 100 packs, which is huge.
Yeah, this early in the cycle, that is ginormous.
So I know y'all want packs.
Yes.
I know y'all want packs.
So I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is. We're going to do it right here on stream. So I've gone to that website, and so what Dr. Dynastic asked would be that you name your thing. Where is the thing to name it?
At the end, at the bottom.
So you name it as your PT username, so that so that he can easily award things. So
make sure you have it in proper capitalization, though.
Yeah,
if you
that's
use capitals or anything else in your PT username, please make sure you have it in, because the system that grants you the wonderful packs that the wonderful people at OOTP are supporting us with is very case sensitive on the user ID. So it's very important to have the right capitalization so we can get you the packs accordingly. And that's pretty much for any giveaway you see on any streamer that you're going to go do. Make sure you get it in the proper upper lowercase camel case, as it may be.
Camel case.
That is a tech term we used to use back in the day making games.
So you've already filled this out.
I have.
So I was just gonna run through really quick, and feel free to kibitz. And let's sort of talk about the matchups. I mean, this all Yankees one is, depending on your feelings, either really great or I'm not gonna watch it at all.
It's great because we get we don't have two Yankees in the final.
Well, it's true.
So that's good, right?
You will learn, if people haven't learned this about me, that if I'm faced with this, I will always take the older team, because baseball was best baseball.
I also believe that the run environment.
Yeah, it's 55.
1955. So I think there's a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what you're going to find is that most of these modern teams are actually going to be at something of a disadvantage, because they're going to have so many pitchers. They're going to have 12 or 13 pitchers, and you're only going to use maybe 9 or 10 in a 55 run environment. And so, there's 2 roster spots that older teams will have. And so that's another reason that I'm sort of defaulting to older teams.
I like that thinking as well.
I hate the A's, so I'm going to pick Seattle here.
Fair.
This is how scientific you can get in this.
This is exactly how scientific I expect you to be.
I'm picking the Astros, but I'm only picking the Astros.
Tell us the choices for us that are follically challenged, eyesight challenged.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't see.
This especially in StreamYard, it's very small.
Can you hit a plus sign to make it larger?
I think I can do something like that. I don't know that I can make it full size on my screen.
Congratulations.
I can do this. Does that help at all?
It's fine. I just see more ads now.
Yeah, there are a lot of ads on this. None for Factor though. I'm picking Houston for the most me reason possible, which is when Dynastic laid out the bracket, this was this is on the American League bracket, and this Houston team was a National League team.
Oh,
so I'm picking them for that reason.
Nice.
Okay,
so
this one's tough.
Toronto and the White Sox, right? 1920 White Sox, 1993 Toronto.
I mean, I'm defaulting to the older team, but that 93 Toronto team was really good. But I think I'm going to take the Black Sox.
Nice.
I will never pick Tampa Bay in anything.
Cleveland 54 moves forward. Tampa Bay.
We're going to take the Guardians. Then we've got the Washington Senators and the Royals. I love the block W of the Washington Senators. That was like such a great logo. That weird.
Is that the big train on that team?
Yes. Walter Johnson, one of my favorites. So I'm going to take them. Boston and Texas. Being a Texan myself, I have a soft spot for the Texas Rangers that are always a weird, semi-broken team, but they somehow succeed in spite of that.
But 2007 Boston, is that Pedro?
I don't know, but Kurt Schilling's involved, and Kurt Schilling is a knob of the highest order. So we're going with Texas.
Okay. What are these seedings based on, by the way?
I think Dynastic pulled them out of somewhere.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's all arbitrary. I don't think it has any correlation to the previous part of the tournament.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. I will also rarely pick the Angels for anything.
Fair enough.
Because winning is not their goal.
Yes, I read that somewhere.
I love the 1909 Pirates. I think that's such a cool team. Oh, I disagree, Dukeston. There are, in fact, the suitably appropriate number of Dodgers teams.
There's only one.
Especially LA Dodgers teams.
There are no LA Dodgers teams.
I know.
That's because I picked a lot of modern Dodgers teams, and they all got blasted by the 1940s.
Well, you know what's funny? I didn't think about the run environment stuff and the roster stuff until just now. But I think that's why we see so many older teams doing so well.
Yeah,
is because they were advantaged in the run environment in terms of their roster build.
Right, and when you have Texas and Florida and those are
Tampa Bay,
younger franchises with not a lot of years, right?
Yeah,
so that's why you have them being more modern.
Let's be honest. There should not have been. Some franchises should just not have been involved in this, but for reasons of whatever.
Come on now. Everyone can be a fan of their hometown team.
Yeah, but objectively, if you're talking the best teams,
come on, give them. Everyone's got a little love out there. You gotta give them love. I mean, where's Seattle on here? Wait, where is Seattle?
Seattle is way up 1995.
Yeah, there you go.
That was I really loved those 90s Mariners teams. They were great. Clearly, we're taking the Giants.
Amber, I agree. I had Koufax on a couple different teams, and they did not get by. They got ousted early. When I picked the Dodgers teams, we had all those Koufax years, the more modern years, Jackie years, 1948.
If you look at the 1949 Brooklyn Dodgers, I mean, it's not nondescript. It's a good team, but it's not in the pantheon like some of those other teams.
They're pretty good though.
They were really good, but if you were making a Mount Rushmore of Dodgers teams,
you got Campy, you got Jackie, you got the Duke of Flatbush. I mean, it's not. And Campy went off in this era. Campy just was hitting homer after homer after homer. He was impressive.
Yeah, and he was doing things at catcher that we hadn't seen in a lot since.
Don't forget, you got Don Newcomb on that team, Pee Wee Reese. I mean, it's
a good team. Yeah,
good team. And my favorite, Carl Furillo.
Carl Furillo. He might come up later. So next we've got the Gas House Gang cards and the 81 Expos. And
Yeah.
I mean, I lean the cards here.
Yeah, I think you have to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, Dukeston, is that pitching was the early LA Dodgers. Pitching was their alpha and their omega.
Yeah.
And everything else sort of flowed from that.
Yeah.
The 1998 Braves and the 2017 Diamondbacks, I could not. In fact, I have a coin here.
You're going to flip the coin? Go alphabetically.
So heads, it's Atlanta. Tails, it's Arizona. It is tails, unfortunately.
Arizona.
So we are going with Arizona.
I like, you have one modern team going through.
That's right. That's right.
You just dissed Maddox and Smoltz.
Well,
the coin did.
Okay, they deserve far more than that for 1993. Ugh. That made me hate the Braves forever and ever. And I was so happy when they got out of the National League West.
Yes, that actually was a godsend for many teams. Actually.
Yes. Yeah. Next, we have the Battle of Chicago. We've got the 07 Cubs versus the 2025 Cubs. And I'm going to take the 07 Cubs just on my theory of roster stuff.
I think that makes sense. I'm telling you, though, I do believe I've seen multiple sims now. I feel like the 2025 Chicago Cubs getting to the playoffs and going all the way multiple times. People are running it.
OOTP really likes.
The OOTP really likes the Chicago Cubs from last year. Because Kyle Tucker wasn't injured the whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, that the team went a lot with Tucker, I think.
Well, and that's another interesting point is that some of these teams were really defined by a shocking injury that kind of caused things to happen. And in this tournament, that's not a factor.
Right.
And that really helps the 2025 Cubs in that regard.
Well, they beat everybody. They did, Dr. D did a sim. They were one of the walk-in candidates for this tournament. He did all the 2025 teams in PT27 to come up with the champion, and the Cubbies beat who was the American League? It wasn't the Yankees.
I want to say
the Rockies. The Rockies beat the Yankees. I think I remember something crazy.
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, it was a very strange,
crazy one-game playoffs, which is always fun.
Anything. I mean, that's the thing. In one game, anything can happen.
It is. It can. That's what baseball.
And I mean, I guess you could argue that somewhat forestalls the roster kind of weirdness.
Yes. Because it's not like you're gonna be tired.
We have the Reds versus the Brewers, the 1940 Reds versus the 2018 Brewers. The curse of Bud Selig should hold, so I'm going to take the Reds. By the way, not enough is said about Bud Selig just deciding to move his team to the to the National League and forcing the Astros to go to the American League. Bud Selig, probably the worst commissioner baseball's ever had. But
he's in the Hall of Fame, so he can't be that right.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. And also, making a list of the worst commissioners baseball has ever had would be quite a list. We've had some doozies, some real doozies.
Can't do 9 innings though.
Yeah, that's right.
Phillies, San Diego. Oof.
I love Tony Gwynn, and I love Mustard and Brown. So we're going with the Padres.
No drugs here.
And then the Mets and who? I want to meet whoever picks Colorado over the 86 Mets.
I'm telling you, man, 1997 Rockies.
Yeah, but Doc Gooden.
I know.
They're going to be facing Doc Gooden. So I'm going 86 Mets. And now we've got a fun matchup, the 86 Mets versus the 84 Padres.
Ooh.
In the second round, I think the Mets win that one easily.
So again, if you're trying to do this, it's really easy. The link is up above. You have a chance to win 100 packs. This is starting on Friday. Get your entries in before midnight on Thursday night.
Dukeston, the Padres were never a threat. The Padres were always like the wacky. They were Mr. Furley. The Padres were like, sort of an entertaining sidebar. The Dodgers were mortal enemies. The Padres were like, oh yeah, those guys.
And like, I don't even care about either of those teams.
Yeah. Well, that's the true depressing fact about the Dodgers-Giants rivalry is that LA fans kind of could care less.
You're not in our headspace.
Yeah. Giants fans.
The Padres are more in our headspace than the Giants at this point.
The Giants fans will chant beat LA at soccer games. They'll like it just is ingrained.
It's like, come up with something different.
In everything
cheer
we
your
do.
own team. Well, cheer your own team with the cheer versus booing the other team. Like, come up with something.
No, look, the Dodgers losing is better than the Giants winning.
Apparently, which tells you all about the psyche involved.
Although, who felt similarly from the other direction? Tommy Lasorda. Tommy Lasorda hated the Giants with a passion.
True. He hated Giants and Angels.
Yes. We had one of my favorite seventh inning stretches is a segment I call Tommy Lasorda Potty Mouth Hour, because there are just tons. You want a fun YouTube deep dive? Just Google Tommy Lasorda, and like there are so many weird interviews he gives where he's he'll just descend into like really creative profanity, but he also will go off at great length about how one of the most important things we have to do is teach these guys to hate the Giants, and just all that. He was totally inculcated in it. I've told this story before, but I'm not sure to you, EVC. I went to the last game at Candlestick Park, and Tommy Lasorda was no longer the Dodgers manager, but he came out, and at Candlestick Park, both teams, there were no tunnels in the dugouts. So both teams came through a tunnel way out in right field.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And so Lasorda, as he had a tradition, he would walk out and blow kisses to the crowd as they showered him with food.
I remember that.
So for the last game, he came out and he did that one last time, which was fantastic. He was a guy who understood he understood sort of the theater of everything.
What do you think of Dave? What do I think of Dave Keenan's performance? There's
a great one. There was one when Kurt Bavacqua was complaining about about getting hit by a pitch or something, and Lasorda goes on this rant about how when he was pitching, he'd have paid for a limo to get Bavacqua to the park so he could pitch to him, because guys like Bavacqua can't pitch for effing blah, blah, blah. Fantastic. There's another great one where Tommy Lasorda was mic'd up as he comes to the mound to do a pitching change, and the pitcher tries to like make a case, and Lasorda just goes off. Are you the effing manager? I'm the effing man. You just like, it's this whole thing. It's fantastic.
It's great. Folks, this is vintage. This is vintage Ezra storytelling. You will get this every single time. This is what these streams are about. It is about all the great stories about baseball history, because Ezra loves baseball history and the stories about it. So if you're enjoying this is what you come here for. The constant stories, and also, he tells you how fast he can pick the picks. You can see that things will go on forever because they're just beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. There will be
sidetracks.
I've run out of time in drafts because an anecdote comes up. Joe Quills, Lasorda got Yuppie ejected from a game.
Yes, I remember that too.
The Montreal Expos terrible mascot Yuppie was the Dodgers and Expos were playing an incredibly long game, and Yuppie came out in pajamas and laid down on the Dodgers dugout, and Lasorda was so mad about it that he had the mascot ejected.
I don't know if you've ever watched Abbott Elementary.
I haven't, no.
But they had a baseball episode this year, I think, that was them going to a Phillies game, and it was It was terrific. It was just a love story to Philadelphia sports. It was great.
Man, I want the Mariners to beat the 27 Yanks, but honestly, the 27 Yanks I think are one of my tickets to get to the end.
Really?
I mean,
I went with the 61 Mets, Yanks.
Yeah, they're really good too, but I'm just so, I'm so steeped in the mythology of the 27 Yanks. They're like, it's like picking against frickin' Hercules and Zeus.
This is one of those things that if you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, I'm not sure if it's happening. I'm sure it's happening this year. You can play like the base game and do a challenge mode.
Yeah.
And if you play, you end up, after a certain number of weeks you play, you can get a pack for your game. And you always pick the 1927 Yankees because they always won.
Yeah, challenge mode. You always pick all right, how much of a homer am I? Am I going to pick the Giants to beat I'm going to pick the 27 Yankees.
I can't believe you're picking a Yankees team.
I mean, they're freaking good.
They're going to get upset by some strange team in round 3 because it's baseball.
Well, yeah, but that's also
OOTP.
That's how brackets work too.
It's one game, so you've got to go with not the obvious.
Well, I'm picking a 32 seed.
Well, remember, the seeds don't mean anything.
Well, don't tell Dynastic that. All right, there we go. So please.
Hey, wait, did you pick the Brooklyn Dodgers over San Francisco, right?
No.
We didn't even talk about that.
No.
By the way, folks, Dr. Dynastic set it up so he and I are playing each other.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Oh yeah. All right. Here we go. EVC. Let's do this.
We're doing a side bet.
Let's do a side bet.
Okay.
I will send you a loaf of boudin sourdough bread if the Dodgers win.
Damn. That's really good.
I'm a big boudin fan.
I have to say, the best thing, we had a Trader Joe's open up a block from us, and the Trader Joe's figured out the starter so we can get sourdough on a regular basis, which is nice.
I love sourdough bread.
I do too. I could just eat it all freaking day.
The interesting thing is, it is not the most popular bread. Play dog. It's not the most popular bread in San Francisco. That's Dutch Crunch, which started here.
Oh, how is that possible? I mean, I every time I go to San Francisco, I'd pick up a loaf of bread from some sourdough and bring home. Yeah. It's just like the thing to do.
It's great. I love sourdough bread. So yeah, if the Dodgers win round 1, you're getting a loaf of sourdough bread.
Damn. What I'm going to send you? I can send the bagels, but the problem is like these bagels are not cheap.
Well, yeah, and you can't send like one bagel.
Maybe we should do digital things.
I could do that. I could send you a Wordle gift card.
Christmas holiday. Oh, I'm up on the draft. Did you hear that?
No, what?
My PBE team.
Oh, I see.
Is doing a draft. Okay,
let the record show.
Ketel Marte or Churio?
Ooh. Let the record show. I am not sending EVC a OOTP T-shirt because then he would never get it.
Is that still happening? I know that was like years ago, wasn't it?
Well, it continues. I got the company that does it sent me the most amazing email. So I finally said, I'd like to cancel this order. And the guy's like, well, the global supply chain's really terrible. And we hope to be making these shirts someday again. So we'd love to keep your order. And I was like, no.
You want to keep my money?
Yeah, no, I would like you to cancel this order, please. He's like, well, I think you're really going to be disappointed once we start making shirts again, when you see the quality. But I want to be clear. OOTP farmed this out to some yuts. This has nothing to do with OOTP other than the poor choice they made to pick that person.
I thought they stopped doing it because all that stuff didn't work. I've talked about doing merch for them and things like that. And they're like, no, we're not dealing with that.
I'm sure it's not profitable.
Dukeston, I agree. I went with Marte because of positional scarcity. Number of second basemen that are good I was looking very far to find. So I My third pick is Ketel Marte to go with Bobby Witt and Kurtz in my fantasy league. So
there we go. I'm going to take it off screen so I can put in my email address. And there, I have submitted my bracket for the Franchise Frenzy. I hope, friends, that you'll do the same. It's a very fun tournament. And as a bonus, every time he does that, I don't have to hear the Red Rock League song.
Get your entries in by midnight Thursday, guys. You have a chance to win 100 packs on Dr. Dynastics thing. It's going to be, what's it going to be? It's Friday's going to start off. There'll be the Sweet 16 next week, the Elite 8 after that. So
it's true. I showed the emails from the company on there. So we want to be respectful, as I said, of EVC's few hours left. So we're gonna do. He's
in my life.
Not,
what?
Yeah.
Damn, Ezra. What do you know that I don't?
Very little. So, as always, we do a 9-inning draft. The first one we did, baseball movies, where TJ was super wrong. Then we had baseball outliers with Franchise and Ripley. They were both super wrong. And now we have players that were Dodgers and Giants. So EVC and I are going to pick 9. Oh, I need to move us. Let's do that. So we are going to pick, and then what I'll do is I'll do this.
This is going to be. It's amazing how many players that you think of as stars for one squad did end up going to the other squad.
Yeah. And I'm sad at how many, as I sort of did this exercise, how many of the players I was like, oh man, I really like them.
And now you can't like them? Is that why?
They're tainted. It's unfortunate. I mean, the most famous case was in the early 90s. Brett Butler went to the Dodgers, and Matt Williams on live TV went on a profane tirade when he's about how he would never go to the Dodgers, and that he actually that gave birth to the greatest shirt in Giants history, which is you can buy not from the Giants, but all around the stadium, that just simply says "Duck the Fodgers." That is a shirt you can. I need a Duck the Fodgers shirt now that I think about it. When I was a kid, that was the height of wit.
Excuse me. Brett Butler. I was actually at spring training in Vero Beach, and he and his family were in the hotel that I was in. So I rode the elevator with Brett Butler and his family.
The jaw on that guy. So
it was
the way it's going to work is we're each going to draft 9 players. There are 2 special innings. So the first one, the third inning, is the player was better on the other team. So EVC is drafting somebody who was better as a Giant. I'm drafting somebody who is better as a Dodger. And then the 7th inning is going to be a reliever.
And we can take, but before that, we can take anybody, or we have to do positions.
That's right. Before that, it's just anybody who played both, and it's your favorites. So who's your first pick? There's some big names.
There are some big names.
And some you don't expect.
This is true. There's a lot of names I love on this list. But I guess I'm going to go with the Duke of Flatbush, Duke Snyder.
There we go. He was on my list for sure.
Played 1964 for the San Francisco Giants in the twilight of his career.
Yeah, there's a lot of twilight of their career. Sort of.
Negative 0.6 WAR for the Giants.
No, Dukeston, we can't pick the same player. So you can be a little strategic and try and maybe take people that you think the other person's going to take. I'm gonna start with a weird, just because I really liked this player, and because he was barely a Dodger, but he was also barely a Giant. I'm gonna pick Steve Finley.
Steve Finley played for every single National League West team.
Yeah, he was everywhere. But Steve Finley was the Giants had a tradition all through the Bonds years of not having any other outfielders that were close to serviceable, and they just kept trying to patch somebody in there. And so there's this like ridiculous patchwork of players that they tried to fit in through there. And I'll actually have another one of those players coming up later in my list. But your second pick now.
My second pick. I'm going to go with the man I rode an elevator with, Brett Butler, because
No,
I like Brett Butler.
Brett Butler was one of my favorite Brett Butler stories is that so the late 80s Giants, Will Clark tells this story that there were two players he didn't trust on the team. One was Big Daddy Rick Russell, because all he wanted to do was read. And the other was Brett Butler, because as Will Clark said, nobody's that religious. Butler was a big Jesus freak, and he was all over it. That's a great pick. I love Brett Butler. I think he's an underappreciated player.
He's had like one good card a couple of years ago. I think it was a gold Brett Butler that was kind of fun to play for a little bit. But yeah. So who are you going to take?
Well, my second pick is going to be one of the worst body language pitchers in history, Jason Schmidt, who just always looked sad.
I forgot he pitched for us.
Yeah, not for long.
No,
but he was. Hey,
3 years for the Dodgers, 11-13 with 0 WAR.
Yeah, he was. He just always seemed a little. He was just always said, yeah, New York Giants and Brooklyn Dodgers are fully in play. Yes. All right, so now better on the other team. I love my pick for this one.
I'm going to go with Juan Marichal.
You know what's funny? Very similar to my pick. I mean, I think it goes without saying Marichal was definitely better. I was so mad last year when I finally pulled that beautiful, perfect Marichal card. And then I was like, he was a Dodger for 5 minutes.
Yes. Oh. You couldn't put him on your theme team.
I couldn't put him on my theme team.
That pain that you felt so good to me.
So my pick is very similar, except I think he actually he was okay with the Giants, but nothing like he was with the Dodgers. But it's Oral Hershiser.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be where you went. Yeah.
He actually came to the Giants after his Cleveland run, when he was like in full professor mode, and he pitched with these round glasses. But Hershiser, like, he almost made you forget he was a Dodger.
I love it. Yeah, I can't believe I forget that Hershiser played what he played for Cleveland. He played for the Mets, right?
Yeah, he paid for the Mets.
Like the end of his career.
Yeah, a lot of these guys traveled a lot.
Yeah. One of my other favorite Dodgers as a kid growing up that ended up, I didn't realize, played early in his career for the Giants, Manny Mota.
Yes.
The pinch hit king. One of my favorites.
I think there were actually... I think the Motas were a little bit like cut rate. Oh God, who are the brothers that I'm thinking?
The Alou brothers.
Yeah, the Motas were a little bit like cut rate Alus, the flying Alus. And there were a couple of them in the Giants system.
Well, the great thing about Mota, when I was at the Vero Beach in spring training, he just would always he had a bicycle, and he rode a bicycle between the fields, and it was just like Manny Mota on his bicycle.
That's awesome.
Thing. Yeah.
That
I think I have a baseball signed by him from one of those Vero spring trainings. So
I love stuff like that.
Yeah. Great. Vero was amazing.
My fourth pick is a backstabbing of the highest order. The Giants made a really poor choice and traded a ton of stuff for Corey Snyder. And they basically rented him for 1 year, and he was not very good. And then he immediately went to the Dodgers. And like for a while, Corey Snyder was a bad word in SF.
Fun. I'm going to go with...
And he was pretty good for the Giants for the time we had him. But then he went to the Dodgers and was not as good.
Here's a player that I always think of more as a Giant, but I'm going with Juan Uribe.
Oh, yes. He was on my list. He was very popular, I think, for both teams.
Yeah. No, and he's always got really kind of fun cards in PT.
Yeah.
So I like the Uribes.
Part of it, at least with the Giants, was we had been conditioned for a decade to the name Uribe, chanting that at the stadium because of National League MVP Jose Uribe. And Juan Uribe fit right into that.
Nice.
My fifth pick is a player that played for both teams, and he actually could have gone on the better on the other team, but the other team would have not been the Giants or the Dodgers. My fifth pick is Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Darryl was on the Giants.
He was another one of like, we need a right fielder. Let's try Darryl Strawberry.
That's always crazy to me.
Your sixth pick?
My sixth pick. I just had it and I lost it. Hold on a second. Oh, current Dodgers manager.
Yes.
Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts was on my list as well.
So just some interesting kind of players that played for both squads that I didn't really realize at all that Roberts played for San Francisco.
Yeah, it's funny how you'll find like players that you wouldn't think of as being on both teams, and they slide in there. Now this guy played for I think every team in history. So my sixth pick is the ageless wonder Terry Mulholland.
Wow. Yes, I thought about doing a theme team one year called the Mulholland Drives. Anyone who ever played with Terry Mulholland?
That's awesome.
And I did not pull the trigger because it was hard to find people that he played with. And now we've lost all our good theme team tools to find like your players to play with.
Yeah. So Terry Mulholland he came up as a Giant, and he was like supposed to be the next wave of pitchers in like after 89 when we started to, he was supposed to be with John Burkett and Trevor Wilson and all that. And the funny thing was Mulholland was probably the best of them, but not for the Giants.
Oh, interesting.
So now we're picking relievers.
I'm going to make a call to the bullpen, calling in the right-hander, Elias Sosa.
Oh, wow.
Elias? I'm going to say that wrong. That's for Franchise Time Machine. He needs something for me to mispronounce. Elias Sosa. Started his career in San Francisco for 3 years, went to St. Louis, Atlanta for a couple years, traded to LA and played LA 76 and 77 on that NLCS team. So
I think it's a great pick.
I'm going to go 198 ERA that year.
I'm going to go with a player that some Dodgers fans thought was a plant from how he went from how he was with the Giants to how he was with the Dodgers. Our dynamite closer, Sergio Romo.
Yeah.
Went to the Dodgers in 2017 and was terrible.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I could have picked Brian Wilson, but he's not the one who they thought was a plant. It was Sergio Romo, because when he left the Giants, he was good. He was still pitch, and then he went to LA, and he just couldn't do it in blue. That color drained it. That blue drained it out of him. He couldn't perform in that color. Your eighth pick.
I need a center fielder. Let's go with Kenny Lofton.
Oh, great pick. Another one of the early 2000s. We need an outfielder next to Bonds. Yeah, Kenny Lofton was another one who, like, you wouldn't think of as either of the teams, really. But he played for both of them for more years than you think.
And he's also in the song. I think one of Jay-Z's song mentions Kenny Lofton. So he's on my theme team this year for all players in lyrics or song titles. So that's one of my theme teams this year.
Well, my number 8 pick, we need a player manager, and you're not going to do better than Casey Stengel for a player manager.
Nice. Going back.
Casey Stengel played for both the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants. And he was actually good for both teams. He put up, in 5 years, he put up 10, almost 11 WAR for the Dodgers. And then in 3 years with the Giants, he put up almost 5 WAR. So he was actually a really good player.
And I need a backstop. I have no other infielders. We don't need a stinking infield, but I'm going to take.
There's a great catcher still out there.
Gary the Kid Carter.
Yes, there it is.
Yes.
Who was not a kid when he played for either team.
He was not. Gary Carter went to my high school, and I met him. I met him in the local baseball card shop, and got his signature on a card.
That's cool.
So that was fun.
So he was a local kid. I didn't know Gary Carter was from
LA.
Huh.
Orange County.
I didn't know that. My last pick.
Oh, this is good. I didn't do any research on this. I just started. We have a wonderful tool. If you guys don't know the tool, I can put that in chat.
So my last pick is gonna be not Dusty Baker, but Dusty Baker fully. But instead, it's the guy that Dusty Baker loved so much that he named his son after this guy. And that is another one of the late 90s, early 2000s. We need an outfielder, Darren Lewis.
Wow.
Who was such a sort of presence in Dusty Baker's life that he named his son Darren.
I did not realize
in honor of as we all knew him, D-Lou. Did you have any honorable mentions of just,
I mean,
names?
Of course, one of the players I loved of all time, Reggie Smith.
Yeah.
Is a big player.
Did not do great for the Giants.
No. Wee Willie Keeler, always a fun name.
I had so along with Darren Lewis, so the Giants at one point had like 3 players that were not what you'd call tall, and Mike Krukow started to call them the fightin' hydrants. And Darren Lewis was one of the fightin' hydrants, and another one of the fighting hydrants, and one of my favorite baseball names, FP Santangelo.
FP. What does the FP stand for? Do we know?
No. No idea. Maybe let's see if it says on his baseball reference page. No, it just says FP. That's all you need to know.
Hillside Robin mentioning it. The barber, Sal Madigan.
Yeah, Sal the barber.
Overlooked.
Yeah,
I definitely went very hitter friendly on this one. Heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always Van Mungo.
Mike McCormick, young Giants left-hander who went to the Dodgers.
Alex everywhere.
Blake
Snell.
Yeah.
Or as I called him recently on my stream, much to franchise Time Machine's joy, Blake Smell.
Blake Smell. Fantastic. Well, he smelled when he didn't play the last game of the year for the Giants.
No comment.
That was very sad. Yeah, that's a great one, Statsmonger. I remembered this. Yeah, that's right. Franchise sent that to me, that there was a player named Bull Durham who played for both. What was there was one other name. So for personal reasons, I almost chose him as my reliever. Weird 80s everywhere journeyman Jim Gott. And the reason that I love him is that when I was in high school, I took German. And my German teacher one day brought in the newspaper because Jim Gott had been traded for Tim Teufel. And in German, that means the God was traded for the devil.
Oh,
and she thought that was hilarious.
She
loved that. That
is pretty funny, actually.
I will never forget just how she knew nothing about baseball or any of that, but she thought it was hilarious that, they traded God for the devil.
It's so true. That's exactly what the Giants would do.
So the one that I'm most angry about, you stole Gary Carter. That was one I love.
Oh, I say it for laugh. You had 8 other picks.
Yeah, I know. I was holding out hope that it would be the last pick.
And notice nobody likes Jeff Kent.
Yeah, nobody likes Jeff Kent.
Although Hall of Famer Jeff Kent.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because now everybody's coming around because he's like, oh, I'm going in as a Giant and all this stuff, and so, now he's a, as we like to say, he's a forever Giant. That is the parlance here. Wow. The Giants do. I mean, the Dodgers really pioneered the whole have your legends hang around. With Dodger Town and that sort of thing. It was the Dodgers kept all of their great players and had all of their, would have them around always. You could always see Koufax or Drysdale or that sort of thing around the players. And the Giants started to do that in the 80s. And I mean, Willie
was such a big part.
Well, but
those
Willie Mays was persona non grata for years. After he made the Mets move, he was blackballed from baseball because when he was with the Mets, he took a job as a casino greeter.
Right.
And baseball just kicked him out.
Amazing. Well, at least he wasn't betting on baseball.
Well, yeah, but that was how seriously baseball used to take this stuff. Now it's brought to you by FanDuel.
If they had paid, because he would paid MLB, maybe they would.
Yeah. But so Willie Mays was not around the Giants in the 70s at all. And it wasn't until he kind of was allowed back in baseball and we had new Giants ownership and that sort of thing. Yeah. And honestly, Frank Robinson was a big part of it. Frank Robinson becoming the first black manager in Giants history, but also the first black manager in baseball history. But he really paved the way for Willie to come back. He also paved the way for fantastic commercials in the early 80s where the gist of every commercial was that Frank Robinson was a humorless, terrible person. And that was like the joke in all of these, that like the players would be like, it would be like Dwayne Kuiper talking to Chili Davis or something. And they'd say something and Kuiper would be complaining about the uniform and Chili Davis would look up and there's a looming Frank Robinson. And Davis would be like, I kind of like them. Like there was a whole oeuvre of commercials like this.
I hate when franchises and players end up getting into. I mean, like McCutcheon and the Pirates this year. It's kind of not fun.
Yeah.
You've got FP stands for Frank Paul, according to Wikipedia.
There we go. With a hyphen, weirdly.
And then Rod Carew and Artie Moreno are just at odds, right? And like,
yes, yeah.
I mean, everyone can be at odds with Artie Moreno. So
yeah. I don't think he's alone in that. I think there's a bunch of
like why treat people like crap? Life is too short to treat people like crap. Treat people nicely. It's amazing what people will do back. So it's nuts.
Yeah, and that's something that the Dodgers, again, they understood that super early with Dodger Town and with that sort of thing. They really did a good job of that, and honestly, the Giants kind of shamelessly copied them in that regard.
Copy what works, man.
Because having your players, having there's nothing bad will come of having your Hall of Famers be around your players.
Exactly.
Nothing bad will come of it.
Exactly.
Well, EBC, you have been so generous with your time, and I think it's now like after midnight for you.
I know. I gotta fill some perfect drafts.
I love that you're like, I got to do some perfect drafts, not, I have to go to bed so I can do my taxes tomorrow.
I know. I got to do my taxes tomorrow morning. So exciting.
And unfortunately, streaming is not a write-off.
What? Well, it kind of,
I mean, parts of it can be, I guess, but like you can't EVC is not listing hats on his tax return as write-offs.
Oh, I'm not allowed to do that. I have several expenses. I mean, these glasses did not come cheap, my friend.
Your CPA's like, why are there bagels on here?
These are legitimate expenses. They're work hats. Princess I mentioned, we have to figure out when to do that, but I have to do it after Ezra so I can beat him. Kind of how this works. You have to have him on
I think
first.
Given the way I played Create a Roster the last time I did it, you should be fine.
I should really look at that. If I went to Asia to get a hat for my stream, can I write off the entire Asia trip? It's an interesting way.
I bought a Chinese Taipei hat.
Nice.
It's actually like the crappiest hat I own. It's not a good hat. It's like trash.
That's what.
I don't know what it's made of, but it's highly synthetic.
Wow, it's almost
very
glossy.
shiny.
It's very shiny.
And it was
when we were in Vietnam, all the locals told us, we look at the stuff on the shelves, and if it says made in China, we don't buy it.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
It was shocking.
That's the Chinese toupee hat you actually got.
Yeah, that's right.
That's much nicer.
It may shock you to learn Taiwan not big on made in China items.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing how that might be.
But it was a whole thing to find that hat, because once baseball season is done, it's gone. Like we had to we had to make a huge schlep to this sporting goods store just to find anything.
Those MLB stores in Hong Kong were fascinating to me. The fact that you found out it was
it's a clothing brand,
a fashion brand called MLB, which seems wrong.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's licensed. Honestly,
it is a great question. It didn't seem. But people are buying it. It was all women's clothes too.
There was one of those in Taipei 101, which is a ridiculously opulent mall. There was one of those stores.
Yeah, fascinating.
It was very strange. Friends, if you're not, as I said, please give EVC a follow. Tomorrow, earlier than he probably wants.
Noon Eastern and 9 a.m.
Okay, earlier than I want.
Earlier than you want.
EVC will be doing his first Guess the Set of the season.
WBC, we've got Clubhouse cards tomorrow. We've got WBC cards on Thursday. We've got 2 future legends from the top 20 coming out on Friday. So those are all integrated in this week's Guess the Set. Get ready to guess, guys.
Who do you think gets the WBC card based on today? Who gets the big card?
I need to look that up. Who was the MVP?
I mean, Abreu hit a home run in this game. And otherwise, it was kind of it was one of those. Oh, he got an RBI single. I think it's Abreu. I think it's Wilyer Abreu.
Miguel Garcia, which I thought was going to be. It is Miguel Garcia.
I want a card of that Czech plump electrician guy. I demand we have a card for that Czech electrician. He was amazing, and his ratings are okay unless Shohei Ohtani is batting, and then he becomes 105. It was so bizarre that this. If you don't know the story, the Czech team had a guy from Czechoslovakia who was an electrician.
Yes.
Who was kind of a walk-on. There's not many professional leagues playing there, and he pitched for the team, and he was fantastic. He was weirdly good. He threw a bunch of shutout innings, and it was so cool. One of the neat things to look at if you want to do a little WBC deep dive, is look at the teams that had the most homegrown players. It's really interesting to see that versus, Italy was pretty much all Americans.
Yeah. The guys do not have to be on MLB rosters. I think I don't know. I don't know what the licensing is for the WBC cards.
Well, OOTP has the WBC license.
They have the WBC license. I don't know if that gives them WBC player rights.
Yeah, but I really want that Czech guy to have a card.
And I think
he was a Dodger. Damn it.
So I think it's interesting. Mikhail Garcia was the MVP. He was kind of the stud for that squad. I think so I have to. What do we want to guess tomorrow? Do we want to guess what his overall WBC card BABIP will be? His power ranking? What do you think we should do for Mikhail Garcia's? We have to guess the rating on the card is my question that we'll have. And we're gonna do it on the fly now. So I don't know. I think BABIP.
Yeah, I think BABIP is the more interesting number for him, honestly.
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna get a Mikhail Garcia tomorrow.
All right, EVC. How about this? The loser of our dynastic match has to buy and wear the other team's hat on a stream.
Okay. That's good. I like that. I do not have a Giants hat. I only have a Tokyo Giants hat. Does that count? It doesn't, right?
No.
Okay.
Gotta be and I will buy a
Yeah. This is painful for both of us.
This is gonna hurt. Yeah.
So I think this is a good bet.
All right, there you go. So we've set it in front of the masses.
Now, wait, what year is your Giants team?
62.
Were they still in New York? No,
that's San Francisco.
Okay.
They came west and just like
Mine's
the Dodgers,
Brooklyn.
15.
You can get away with a Brooklyn hat and not feel too bad.
Yeah, a Brooklyn hat is actually kind of cool.
Exactly. So you have to do that.
No,
you have to do an LA hat then. It has to be an LA hat. It has to be
just hurts. Yeah, no, it has to be an LA hat. Just to be. But no, I wouldn't be that mean, franchise. He does not have to add the Giants hat to the menu.
Oh, I think that's fine. If I get it, I will definitely add it.
Or make it a very expensive, and I'll use my channel points. Use it to bleed my channel.
There you go. Make EVC wear a hat he hates.
You know what?
That's not a bad thing, actually.
I'll create the same channel point redemption for that cursed Dodgers hat.
Make Ezra wear a hat he hates.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we can make that a very expensive one. I don't have to figure it out, but yeah, that's a good idea. What's the most channel points that people have?
People have some surprising amount of channel points.
They do.
I created a redemption that's just like I like to spend fake money just to get rid of it. Just to get rid of their channel. And then I started doing a thing during my games where I do a prediction every game of something. Like how many first pitches will Jose Uribe swing at or something. And it's
something extreme.
There we go. And just like that, Rachel and Clay Dog both like to spend fake money.
I only have 34K. I have to stay up later and watch more of your shows so I can save up to make you wear the Dodgers hat.
I apparently have unlimited, so but I'm not going to make myself wear a Dodgers hat.
I didn't think you would.
I'll create a really expensive one that is burn the Dodgers hat.
Ooh, that's just evil. You don't want to do that. That's so negative. Why would you do something negative?
I am fueled by petty hatred.
I know, it's so fun.
Much to my poor wife's chagrin.
So Barry Batch was 183 channel points on my channel.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to make that expensive to make me wear a hat I hate.
I do like the maze with the sunglasses. That is I like that.
That is a nice one.
That is a nice one. Very cool. EBC, thank you so much for hanging around. I'm going to let you go do your perfect drafts, and I'm going to do my 5L draft, and then we're going to head it over to franchise.
Excellent. Thanks, guys, for staying up with us. Always fun. If you're new here, make sure you follow this guy because, again, these are the stories you get, the good times. Always have a great time on your channel. Ezra, thank you again for having me on. And,
before you go, I have a new.
There's no way of ending a stream with
this. No. It's like talking to your high school girlfriend. You hang up. No, you hang up.
Oh no! Come on, wait.
The cord. I remember those days. I have a new game show for the next holiday party. Are you familiar? So first of all, are you familiar with the wonderful world of British game shows?
A
Like,
little bit, but not. I mean, there's definitely some fun ones.
especially the ridiculously erudite radio, like BBC ones,
Oh
where
no, I don't
so
know that.
there's a show that I can't recommend enough called Just a Minute. One of the old hosts of the baking show, Sue Perkins, hosts it. It's been on the BBC for like 50 years. It's been on forever, but it's very simple. You have a panel of 4 people, and you have a subject. So for the holiday party, I'd just have like 10 baseball subjects. So your subject is intentional walks. EVC, can you speak for 1 minute without hesitation, repetition,
Oh no.
or deviation on intentional walks? And then you just sort of hold court for a minute. And the genius of the game is the other players are are looking for you to fail. And so they're like, oh, you just repeated the name Bonds or something. And then if they challenge, they then get to steal, and they get the time, and whoever's talking when the minute is over gets the point.
I like it.
It's great.
I
My wife and I
can't imagine you ever losing at this game.
No, so it's hard because repetition.
Yeah,
the only words you can repeat are the words that are in your subject. So the only words in that case you could repeat would be intentional walks. But repetition is hard. Hesitation is really hard because you're like, you're trying to pull a name out of your head or something. And
yeah, without hesitation is really tough.
Yeah. But it's genius. And so I want to get like you and Lap and 2 other people at the Christmas party or something and play that game with our OOTP.
We got to do a match game again because that was a lot of fun.
Match game was also a lot of fun. Yes, and Lap is a very good match game host.
He is.
He's suitably almost misogynistic and like 70s draped. It's.
I felt like I was a good contestant on that. I think I enjoyed playing that.
Yeah. Well, Nosbase won, right? So Nosbase, I think Nosbase was the contestant. We were the panelists, right?
I felt like I had some fun panelists there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. All right, go to bed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Great seeing y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, EVC.
In less than 12 hours. Woo!
Bye.
Bye.
There it is. EVC. He is fantastic. The best. Love EVC. And again, I cannot thank him enough for all that he does for the streaming community, for the affiliates and that sort of thing. And yes, Barry Basher, the questions were draped in innuendo. There was also more than one Dumb Dora reference. It was classic match game. Lap did his homework, no doubt. That was fantastic. EVC is the best. I love EVC. All right, before we head over to my buddy Franchise Time Machine, who I assume is feeling well enough to stream. He's been under the weather. This would be your chance to say if you are not streaming, Franchise. We are going to do my 5L draft for tomorrow. So what tournaments are you guys playing? What tournaments have you really enjoyed in OOTP? Okay, great. It turns out I haven't been able to get into it again, but where is it? I freaking won the live iron yesterday. And then the next time it was available, it was immediately full. I think I have to get up at like dark 30 to get into it again. Other than that, I haven't had a ton of success. I have been trying out, by the way, the new favorite feature might be the best new feature in the game. Love it. It is fantastic. I'm as last cycle, I'm trying, I'm seeing if spamming live tournaments can get me anywhere in the PTCS. We'll see. And I'm trying out bronze just because I pulled the Ron LaFleur card, and so I'm trying him as the backbone. But I'm trying to play enough quick tournaments that I can then go through and look at them and try and make some decisions. I've been fooling around with this gold slots tournament, and I've gotten a couple packs out of it, but not a ton. Obviously, I love the live tournaments. So I'm in live gold and live open. And that's and then of course the perfect drafts, obviously doing the 5 and 6L. I kind of want to get back into doing the bagels and schmear just so I can get bagels. But it's already full. So let's go ahead and we're just going to do our 5L draft, and then we'll head over to franchise. The 5L, if you're not familiar with it, is a lower level. Come on, man. That's mean. I was very happy when Team USA kicked Kershaw off the team. They didn't kick him off. He was done. He was cooked. So it's a lower level perfect draft. So it's mainly going to be bronze cards. We are playing dead ball, which is my favorite period. With no DH and in a park. Like, look at this park. Permaban. The band hammers coming out. We are playing in Rickwood. I think it's Rickwood Field is the name of it. Rickwood Field knocks down average, and look what it does to home runs. It just crunches home runs. Skyrola, thank you very much for raiding in. Welcome in, Raiders. You just missed the awesomeness that was EVC, being super entertaining and great. But welcome in. I'm doing a couple of perfect drafts here real quick. So yeah, home runs are not a thing, but gap power is. So my focus in this draft is gap power and speed. So gap power and speed is number one, and then BABIP, and then maybe defense. The one thing that I do care about is error rate, because errors are very high in this one. So let's see. And because this is dead ball, I only really need like 7 pitchers. So with pitchers, all I really care about is BABIP. I don't care about home runs at all, HRA at all for pitchers. It's really BABIP. How's this Bill Perkins? It's early in the cycle, so I have to look at the players. But a catcher with gap power and speed is kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Wilbert. Whoa, Wilbert. Actually, this is a pretty good dead ball catcher. I mean, you love the BABIP. You like the defense. Blocking, as we've come to understand, blocking is the most important thing in catcher defense in dead ball. He's got a little gap power, no speed. We're going to take Wilbert Robertson. That's a good dead ball catcher. Ooh, this guy's pretty good too, and he's got some eye. This is also tempting. Look at that blocking. He's got more speed. Wow, we're getting good catchers here. So we're actually going to take Tommy Clark. So Robertson has more BABIP, but less of everything else. Tommy Clark has the eye, the BABIP, and he's got gap power and speed. So we're going to take him. And then Howard Easterling is a nice defensive shortstop that can hit a little. So that, and I mean, the error is a little low, but not terrible. Tom Tresh. Yeah, that's Tom Tresh is okay. I mean, he's not going to commit errors. He's not going to get to as many balls, and he's much better versus lefty. He's a little splitty. How are there any pitchers? I mean, El Guapo kind of not bad, but I think I'm going to take Easterling just to get a shortstop. Oh, I only get one of these? Oh, fudge. Well, I'm taking Clark then. I always forget that I only get one of those. Now I probably want to take a picture if the game wants to give me an okay picture. So again, I don't care about HRA. I only care about PBABIP. I don't love this. Not that exciting. Any other starting pitcher I'm being given? Nope. Ah, look, it's Rachel's favorite player, Hunter Gaddis. I don't bother with relievers really in this tournament. Well, if you're only taking 7 pitchers, you might as well just take all bangers. George Giles, pretty good. First base and center field. You don't see that every day. That's sort of a joke, Bull Goats. So my original theme team in OOTP 24 was, and in 25, was only players my wife had heard of. And they were called the Hunter Gaddis All-Stars because we were pulling packs one day, and she's like, I've heard of Hunter Gaddis. And I was like, how? He was a Brave or something, I think, at that time. And, you know, it was just, I had no idea how she would have heard of Hunter Gaddis, but somehow she had. And so it became a joke between us that Hunter Gaddis was her favorite paper. Could I do it with only, that would be hard to only have batters. You'd really need a lot of two-way help. I don't love Brady Singer. But I really kind of want to take a picture. But am I just putting myself in a bad spot? Oh no, she meant Hunter Gaddis. I assure you. Maybe I'll just take Blazing Game to have really good infield defense, but not a great bat. No, I don't want to do that. So in this draft, you only have 20 players. So you want to get people who are versatile. So live players are really good for that. Lewis has some gap power, but no speed. So that's not great. The Rooster doesn't have BABIP, so not that interesting. I guess I'm going to take Singer. I don't love it. Because Blazing Game is really splitty. Billy Goodman is okay, but again, no speed. Yeah, we'll take Singer. I don't love it, but we'll do it. Brago Roth, gap power and speed, ahoy. So I think we're going to take Roth just for gap power and speed. It's just... Speaking of a pitching machine, Hayden Birdsong is no longer a pitching machine, sadly. He is broken. This Oyster Burns card, a little bit of gap power, a lot of speed, can play all over, which is nice. I mean, I don't mind that card. Again, I would love to take a picture, but I just... Hayden Birdsong looks like a Simpsons character come to life. Like, there's just something weird about it. I don't know. But I think he's who we're going to take, sadly. So, Roth and Birdsong. NEL players are often very good dead ball players. Sadly, not a lot of BABIP here, and BABIP is, again, the main thing. Well, but some gap power and speed. Not bad defense. This Brandon Marsh card, not bad. The defense is bad, and that outfield error, in 1914, that outfield error will come back to bite you. I am not interested in that level of defensive incompetence. Mule Haas doesn't look terrible, but really only versus righties. And because your roster is smaller, you really can't afford a lot of platooning. So you have to be careful in that regard. Well, I hope you don't need it, Cardinal fan. That is not no bueno. Best wishes for your health. I often say with pride that I have never spent the night in a hospital, and I've never had surgery, and I hope that goes for you as well. Unless you're getting a new nose, because if you're getting a new nose, maybe then you think about it. Or finally, that breast reduction surgery you've been talking about. You're gonna get Soleil Moon fried. That was just a layer cake of unfortunate references right there. Although that's sort of my stock in trade, isn't it? I think Ursula, you always want to have a player named after the bad guy in the we're already out of the live gold. Oof. Well, best wishes for your health. I hope that it's not a serious matter, and I hope that it is easily addressed. Even though surgery is never you'd rather avoid it if at all possible. Back a few years ago when I was having those neck issues, there was some slight discussion of surgery, but I was not interested in neck surgery. And happily, it seems like physical therapy and everything else have really helped. I guess I'll take Dorgan. I don't like that, but so far I'm not a fan of what's going on here. Lindor. No BABIP at all, but gap power and speed. It gets you out of the house, Cardinal fan. So again, I actually like this shape because high BABIP, I don't care about HRA. So we'll take Kyle Hart. And actually, we'll take Eric Milton, too. Milton's an even better version of Kyle Hart. So I think we'll take those two. Oh, man, yeah, but you want to get that taken care of for sure. I love the versatility of Jimenez and also of Lane Thomas. Thomas has got a little gap power and a little speed, and he can play the outfield. Jimenez, less gap power, more speed, but can play all over. I'm going to go with the two pitchers and just think like pitching is... Yeah, everything I've heard is like you really want to... well, we're going to take Dave Steve just for lap. Everything I've heard is, with hernias is, you want to get those addressed. I think I've mentioned I had a good friend who had a hernia, and he couldn't lift anything for a while. The doctor just shut him down. And he had a little kid at that point, which was sort of awkward. I guess it's Brazier. Yeah. Steve and Brazier. That's 6 pitchers already. One of the challenges early in the cycle is that the 5L draft is not weighted. And so there's still way too many pitchers in this draft. It's not weighted to factor in that you only need 7. And so trying to not take 12 pitchers can be a little bit challenging. Dominguez is not terrible. We'll take Dominguez. Fannin is not awful. Yeah, let's take Fannin. So that's 7 pitchers. So theoretically, I don't need any more pitchers. We'll see how feasible that is. One of my favorite players, Hideki Matsui, and his encyclopedic porn collection. I kind of like this Kafis card. I don't draft a first baseman in this draft, figuring that somebody at one of the other positions will be able to play first. Rodriguez is okay. Not a lot of speed. George Johnson, gap power and speed ahoy. I think we're going to take him just for the ridiculous gap power and speed and hope he can bust out some triples. I expect my doctor to tell me to lose 15 pounds. And they'd be right. I really should. I still only have one catcher, which is not great. McGuire is not the answer, and I still have a bunch of catchers to come. I only have one infielder. That seems pertinent. Fuentes is gap power and speed, but not great defense. Berardino is gap power and speed with slightly better defense. Taylor Walls. I mean, I was cheering for Venezuela, so I mean, I just felt like this U.S. team, like every other team in the tournament, even Japan, was so obviously having so much more fun than the U.S. team, and was so obviously like playing with some joy. I just never felt like this U.S. team was enjoying itself. They were all businessmen making business decisions, and I loved watching all these teams that just were having a ball and were playing a kid's game like they were kids. I was so happy about that. It was wonderful to watch. And I was really, I was not a fan of the calls that the U.S. got in the last game. Yeah, that's good. We've actually, Rachel more than me, but we've seen good results with changing some of our habits. Although, so I for the gala, I order a bunch of snacks for the volunteers, and some of the snacks didn't show up until today after the gala. And so I've got like a 5-pound bag of candy bars. And so that might my positive efforts may be drastically undermined by the fact that I have $100,000 bars, the best candy bar. Who's going to come on as a streamer? I need an affiliate to come on and do 9-inning drafts of candy bars, best candies, because this is the important stuff. Salkeld has some eye. He's pretty good versus righties. We'll take Salkeld. See, here's what I was talking about in terms of pitchers. I already have 7 pitchers, which is really all you need in this draft. But franchise, I love whatchamacallit. Let's be clear. $100,000 bar is number one. $100,000 bar is the best. But whatchamacallit is right up there. I'm a big whatchamacallit fan. I'm also, you can't go wrong with a classic Hershey's with almonds. That's a darn good candy bar. I think Butterfinger is way underrated. I like Butterfinger a lot. And yes, if it's not clear, I've done a lot of research. I've done some studying in the field. So not a ton of gap power, but a lot of speed. Fred Odwell. What are the other ones I like a lot? I like the problem is if I had Lap do it, he'd just come in and name Canadian candies. which in fairness are really good. I'm a sucker for basically any chocolate and caramel. I love caramel. So like whatchamacallit, $100,000 bar, they've all got it. Twix, I think Twix is a darn fine candy bar. Snickers. Milky Way I don't really like. Milky Way, I mean, and it's funny because Milky Way is literally just, yeah, salted caramel. Not a lot of salted caramel candy bars. There's, what is that one? The something bar. What's it called? There's one where it's salted. Not the Mars bar. Not the, is it the Clark bar? There's the something bar that is like the nuts are salty. And it's really good with the chocolate and the caramel. I mean, I don't need a third catcher, but he's got gap power and speed. Payday, 100%. Great call. Payday is the answer. I'm going to take this guy just as a bat off the bench, and maybe he'll play first base. Oh, a salted caramel Twix. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I really wish I didn't have a big bag of candy in the house. Although counterpoint, I really like having a big bag of candy in the house. So, you know, more than one thing can be true. Doyle, pretty good versus righties. Definite gap power and speed. Only plays third base. Don't love that. Don't love that. Well, that's also the problem, isn't it? Is, you know, once you open the bag, you're not closing the bag. Oh, man, that was the best part of Halloween. I loved everything about Halloween. I even liked the weird bit of honey that I would get. And what was the other one? The chick something. The Chico. There was it was like a weird, like sesame covered thing. I think I'm going to take gray just for some defensive versatility. Oh, I only get one of these? Well, then I'm taking Doyle. All right, I get one of these. I've got 7 pitchers, so I don't really need another pitcher. Yeah, I don't remember what they're called. They're like tiny, and they're called like Chico somethings. Maybe it's a Texas thing. I don't know. We used to, speaking of healthy choices, we used to get a bag every like week with our grocery delivery of almond M&Ms. And so we just always had almond M&Ms in the house. And I loved it, but it was not a wise choice. But I miss it. Miss it a lot. Almond M&Ms are great. I think it's going to be Fultz. I don't love Fultz, but he's a good, pretty good defender. He can play shortstop too, which is nice. Yeah, let's go Fultz. All right, there. Oh, I ran out of time. Hopefully, I got that last pick in. It's totally different. WWs. All right, 3-man rotation. Let's see what this. Wow, Steve is my number 3. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. I got nothing against that. Not bad job, AI. Let's see what they do here. I kind of want to start Salkeld versus righties. How is Tommy Clark versus righties? He's probably better. All right, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I lied. Kafis, I kind of want to start just for gap power and speed. Who's my left fielder? Dominguez. I mean, Dominguez isn't terrible, but I think I like Kafis better. And he's just about the same defensively. So, yeah, we're going to go with CJ Kafis at left field. And Dorgan is playing versus lefties. Yeah, I'm not excited by Dorgan. We'll throw Kafis in there. All right. Yeah, I think that's good enough. All right, there is our 5L draft. Is franchise you up and running? Not yet. All right. Well, if you want to get launched, franchise, I will head over. Let's see if I can figure out what that candy was. Chico Stick. There it is. Wow. Yeah, that's it. Wow, I haven't thought about this. Was very common in Texas in the 80s. I'm a little hurt that it calls it old-timey candy. So what is in a Chico Stick? Cane sugar, corn syrup, peanut butter, toasted coconut. So it's like a peanut butter thing. I guess I thought those were sesame seeds, but they were not. But yeah, this would be very common. This and Biddo honey were very common. Hey, nuts.com, not a sponsor. I just remembered that. That's funny. Good for you is a strong word, but it's not. It's better for you than some of those choices. While franchise is getting going, we can enjoy the futility that is my perfect team. So I came out of the entry pool and I was put into high gold. And it's clear that I do not belong in high gold. As Bill Parcells once said, the numbers are the numbers, and our numbers are really bad. We're winning less than 30% of our games. So that's a problem. We are 15-38. It's not good. And it's not a terrible team. I bought this Willie Mays card, and he's playing okay for us. Roy Campanella is showing out. Maybe he shouldn't be leading off. That's a curious choice. I want probably Chisholm leading off. Yeah. I want Campanella hitting fourth. Okay, there we go. Oh, nice, Amber. Well, you're doing better than I am. I am sucking the place up. Bad news all around. It has not been a great time for my theme team. We are not good at any facet of the game except base running. we're sixth in base running. Fantastic. Let's see if we won. Did we? I mean, we're gonna get relegated. It's just that simple. Nope, we lost. We lost 10-1. We are just getting pounded. Is there something in my strategy, maybe? No, not really. What is going on? We are just getting absolutely destroyed. Man alive. 10-1. I mean, what's our, let's look at our run differential. This should be amusing. Our run differential is only -2. Well, no, it's minus 121. So we're 2 games worse than our Pythagorean record, which is slim solace here. But we're minus 121 runs, by far the highest run differential. Wow. The Galapagos tortoises are matching us, but they're actually playing better than they should be, which is kind of funny. We are not. We are poo-poo caca. No bueno. All right, well, that is going to do it for a very fun after talk. I mean, I could talk to EVC. I find EVC super fascinating. He's great to talk to about so many things. I forgot to ask him if he plays Redactyl. I love Redactyl. Well, I think, Cardinal fan, you might be onto something there. Are you familiar with Redactyl? This is one that I started playing in the pandemic, and it is I find it fascinating. Let's do this. Share Redactyl. So Redactyl is essentially a random Wikipedia page with everything redacted. And so you're trying to figure out what it is by putting in, so was a blank of, so let's see if it was a person. 57. So this means the word he appears 57 times in its various forms, but not until very far down. So now let's see, maybe history? No, King 2. Let's try. No, Asia does not appear. Was a blank of, was a part maybe? So I've got nothing up here. Let's see if any of these give me clues. Take. All right, so we know that take is there. So let's put in take. That appears 26 times. On something is on dash. That's probably a clue. The to something down the something. So you're trying to figure out which Wikipedia page it is by guessing words. To something down the hatch, maybe? No. River? No. Was a, let's see, is history? No, not much. Up to the blam, blam, blam. Was it a book, maybe? No. Did I guess Europe already? Europe only appears once. America does not appear at all. Okay. I'll often look for middle, because then if it's the Middle Ages, on the middle of middle, the middle. Let's see if it's age. No. Is it Earth? Would it be a Tolkien thing? No. So what else could it be? Oh, maybe it's Middle Kingdom of middle something on the middle something. Among middle blank. So middle hyphen. Manager, maybe? Is it a middle manager? No. There were that during bam. Let's see if we can get any war in here. All right, so war does appear. So that means world is going to be in here. And like of that blank across blank of the world. So that looks like a most. Yeah, a much of the world in the early. Yeah. Is it the Ice Age, maybe? No, darn it. Oh, I'd already guessed age. So what is an hyphen? Is Egypt, maybe? Oh, okay. We're on to something. The Egyptian something. So, yeah, we're talking ancient Egypt. So, Khufu? No. Giza? No. Cairo? Only shows up twice. All right, so we're dealing with something. Let's say Pharaoh. And spelling does count. Did I spell that wrong? As I said, spelling counts. Oh, I like the idea of myth. Let's see myth. No. Cleopatra is a good one. No. All right, so we know it's something Egypt. What about the Nile? No. Wow. Is it a religion, maybe? No. So it's something of sun, maybe? No. Oh, this is kingdom? Only once. Yeah, okay. Pyramid is a good idea. If I spell it right. Pyramid does not show up. Wow. Who else was around Egypt at that time? Who was Egypt fighting with at that? Rome? No. Greece? No. I mean, Carthage, maybe? I don't know. This must be like super old Egypt. So who are and I already thought it might be a god, but like Horus, maybe? No. I'm going to spell this wrong. Hieroglyphics? No. Wow. Yeah, Sumer, maybe Persia. No, geez. Maybe it's tribe? No. People? The people something to down the something. Oh man, I hope this isn't a Bible thing. I'm really bad at Bible stuff. What was it 7 plagues? What was it? It was plagues, right? No. Maybe Israel. Oh, okay, let's see if Israel shows up once. Into Israel's okay. Way down there. Palestine shows up 3 times. So Palestine took place. Okay. Took place in Oh, Arab Spring. I bet it's Arab Spring. Ha ha. Wow. Okay. So I actually came in under the median guesses, which is awesome. My accuracy was terrible. And I was faster than most people. All right, that was a good effort. I'm glad I came in under guesses. So what got that for me was looking at the form here of like it's 2 words, and I know it was something, and I was trying to figure out because it said was a blank of something, and so I was trying to figure out like now I wasn't going to figure that, but I figured this was another language. And so I was trying to figure out like, and I got hung up on ancient Egypt, but it was actually modern Egypt. So there you go. That's the redactyl. My puzzle of choice. I think it's very clever. All right. We are going to raid over to Franchise Time Machine. I encourage you to follow him. He is the preeminent mad scientist deconstructing the OOTP engine, and well worth your time and your follow. You will not be sad that you follow him as he starts to learn what weirdness is going on in the engine. So that is going to do it. I will be back tomorrow, probably. We are getting a new fridge delivered Thursday, and we might be cleaning out our fridge at night. You never know. But I will probably stream tomorrow, and we'll get more of the 87 Giants off season. Until then, goodbye, Internet friends.